GamerCast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the GamerCast Network video game show for Sunday, January 27th, 2008. This is episode 74. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, tell me your favorite appearance in a game by an actor or actress, either in full motion video or as a voiceover. And joining us this evening is Ivan.
I like Patrick Stewart. He does voiceovers for actually a bunch of games. One of them was Oblivion. He's got the coolest voice ever.
No, I don't think he does.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. My opinion's wrong.
Your opinion is wrong. You're just talking from coolest voice. That's David Keith.
Who's that? He was the Arbiter.
That guy, Goliath. He does have the best voice.
Well, I guess we know who Keith's is then.
Actually, that's not my favorite video game guy, though.
Well, Keith, what is your favorite video game guy?
Danny Trejo has every badass Mexican.
Has he done video games, though?
Yeah. He's pretty much every badass Mexican in movies and in video games.
Next on the list is Phil.
I'm going to pick Terrible Terry Tate in Gears of War, because everybody loves Terry Tate.
Cool.
Yeah, he played Cole in Gears of War. Remember him as the office linebacker? Here comes the pain train. Woo woo.
And also joining us this evening is MC Fragslot himself, Tom.
I'm going to say Grace Park. She was in Command & Conquer 3, and she's also Boomer on Battlestar Galactica. She is incredibly cute.
And also joining us this evening is Bob.
I'm going to pick Kevin Conroy. He's the guy who does Batman, and he was in Max Payne 2.
Which one was he in Max Payne 2?
I wouldn't have known the names, but it said Lord Jack Cleaner Commando. So apparently he was all three of those.
I was going to say, is that one character or three?
No, it's three different ones.
Okay, good. And I will have to go with Christopher Walken from Privateer 2. It was a Wing Commander spin-off series, and they had lots of full-motion video.
Holy crap, he's done a lot of video games, too. True Crime, Privateer.
Has Shatner done any video games?
Shatner?
Let's look him up right quick.
The legend himself, William Shatner.
Maybe
I know he used to play Ravenshield.
Shatner used to play Ravenshield?
Oh, yeah.
I believe that. Robin Williams was a big Battlefield 2 player.
No, that was a joke. Keith used to be William Shatner.
I
when we
was
played.
William Shatner. And that always cracked me up to no end when people would get mad and they would be like, Shatner!
Khan!
Ivan was Ricardo Montalban. Every time he logged in, I would just yell Khan.
This week on the GamerCast Network. On Sarcastic Gamer, Fumo Jive joins the crew as they discuss Fox News' outstanding coverage of the Mass Effect sex scandal, and an interview with guitar hero Tipper Queen. This week on Uncle Gamer, find out if alien sex in Mass Effect is all it's cracked up to be. This week, Gamertag Radio interviews the developers of Penny Arcade's new game, On the Rain Slick, Precipice to Darkness, Episode 1. Go to Podtacular for all the news from the unofficial Halo universe. On Achievement Junkie, check in with Nelson and Natalie as they help you take your gamer score to the next level. Discover the website that brings you all these great episodes and headlines at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Do we want to talk about that Fox thing at all?
What's the
Mass
Fox thing?
Effect.
I saw it all over the web this week. Something with Fox EA and...
Yeah, the Mass Effect thing, some woman came out, was like describing it as you can make characters with large breasts and full-on frontal nudity, and there's lots of sex and all this crap when, we all know what Mass Effect really is. They have cutscenes like any TV show, and the characters have sex with each other. And she's like, it's porn! Oh God, it's porn!
The
Just
thing
turn
is...
on, like, CBS, NBC, or ABC at 9 o'clock on a random day, and it's 10 times worse than Mass Effect.
Oh, absolutely.
You could even dream of being.
First off, that was the blow-up initially, was she came on and said those things about Mass Effect. And then right after that, I guess EA actually stepped up to bat for BioWare.
They sent out some letter that said, it wasn't like threatening legal action, but it was like seriously demanding an apology for just spreading blatant lies about their product.
They even asked her during the interview if she actually ever played Mass Effect, and she said, no, I didn't play Mass Effect at all. And then someone over the past couple of days actually showed her and said, this is the scene they're talking about. And she said basically, oh, that's it? And everyone was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. She apologized and said she was wrong in what she had said about the game.
Yeah, so to set the record straight for people who don't know, one or two scenes where if you're involved with one of the characters, you kiss briefly and then it kind of fades to black and it implies sex. Where it becomes racy is when you start playing the game, you can pick to be either a male or a female character, and regardless of which one you pick, you can still go down that path. So there's potential for you being a female character to kiss and have sex with another female character. But
Sweet.
as graphic as it is two
Nice.
female digitized characters kissing.
Like, there's a whole storyline behind it, though. It's not like...
Yeah, there is.
It's not like a porn movie that actually has no story.
And there's no nudity at all.
Well, when you put it that way, now I don't want to play the game.
No, but also one of the issues was it was Fox News.
They have a wheel of news. When there's nothing happened that day, they just spin the wheel. And let's see, wheel number 1. Let's see, religion, video. Okay, lay down video games, so we're going to pick video games. Now let's spin the wheel of trouble and see what it is. Extreme violence, nudity, gay sex, regular sex. Okay, it's in between gay sex and regular sex, so let's run with that. And let's move to the next week. They just make stuff up.
The gaming community actually got very vocal, and I guess this woman has a book on Amazon. And you know you can put reviews on Amazon of books?
You can put reviews of Tuscan milk.
Well, lots of gamers went on and put lots of disparaging reviews of her book, saying things like, oh, we never actually read this book, but it's a crap.
How do you like it?
Oh, you know what? I remember when Bumblefoot came out with his book, and he ended up getting hundreds of reviews, all of like 1 star. He ended up threatening to sue Amazon. Amazon took all those down.
He threatens to sue Jesus for not coming back yet.
Yeah, that's true.
False
Who said
advertising.
you were going to come back? This is false advertisements.
Next topic.
I know lots of us here like the Battlefield series from EA, Battlefield 2, Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Vietnam. Well, they are now bringing out a new Battlefield this summer called Battlefield Heroes, PC version only. Now, the thing with this one, here's the big thing, it's going to be free to play. You can download it, play it, and you'll be fine. However, the way they're going to get money out of it is they're going to have in-game ads and microtransactions for gear in terms of weapons, uniforms, and that kind of stuff. EA tried this out in Korea with a FIFA soccer game. Free to play, and you pay for microtransactions.
Buy cleats? What the hell are you going to buy?
Well, no, you bought uniforms, but you also bought enhancements for the players. You could up their accuracy and speed. Most did not buy the stuff. Most just played for free. However, there was enough that they got over about $1 million a month in revenue from people who did pay for stuff. EA is going to be trying this out here and seeing how this works. And if this works, they're going to bring a lot of the other franchises over.
Oh, that totally ruins the game. This is ridiculous. I mean, you could have a completely pimped out character and not even play the game.
You know what, Phil? It's not any different than any other game. Pick a game. You can go online and buy all the best gear for that game without even playing the game. You could have a completely twinked out guy. The only problem is anytime you have a shooter game or something like that where different weapons, it really skews the balance. But again, I go back to my standard. If you don't like it, don't buy it, don't play it. If enough people do that, they'll say, oh, this isn't working because we're not making any money on it.
That's not going to happen.
I know that, but still.
They're trying this here because this is the model that all of the Asian MMOs have.
I'm going to reserve my judgment. A lot of people were concerned when EA tried to use Battlefield 2142 to experiment with in-game ads, and I don't know how successful they were, but it ended up that the ads weren't intrusive. I only had seen one company actually running ads, and that was Intel. Of course, EA is going to try this. I mean, they want to experiment with different business models. Let them fail at this, because right now in the shooter area, especially on the PC, there's just so many options to choose from. It's not like I feel threatened that we're going to be locked into this model that in the future going forward, all first-person shooters are going to be pay as you go.
Well, you know what? It's almost like I pay $10, $15 a month to play an MMO, and I don't have to pay anything to play a first-person shooter. I think if I can get, well, especially how I play, though, usually I just want, like, one weapon. If I can pay $5 for it and be done with it, I'd probably do that. My time is more precious than, like, a microtransaction in the game. Or yeah, I'm going to come out on the positive side for this. I would totally do that, because I only have, like, an hour a week to play video games. I buy songs for Rock Band all the time. I like this song. Here's $1. And it adds to my enjoyment of the game. It almost just keeps the game going. I mean, that's why the MMOs have so much more longevity over, like, a FPS or something, other than, like, UT, where the mod community is gigantic.
Yeah, I was about to wave the fanboy flag and say, hey, at the PC, we've had free microtransactions for years and we didn't realize it. We just didn't have that term.
Exactly.
But people have been putting out map packs and everything else, either by the studio themselves or just by fans who are making maps and stuff, and it's been available free. Ultimately, no matter what direction companies go in, and even if this next Battlefield is successful, what I want to defend is that on the PC, we could still have people making their own maps and putting them online for free.
Next topic.
This last week, they released all of the sales data for the PC games over the last year from 2007. The overall, the gaming industry is about $19 billion.
That's insane. I would have never guessed that 10, 15 years ago. No, I'm curious to know how much the film industry brings in, because isn't this just blow it away?
A year or two ago, they announced that the video game industry generates more money than the movie industry.
There actually was an article here. For 2007, the gaming industry has outpaced both movies and music.
Well, music's had they've been down 20% year over year for the past 5 years. I mean, that's why companies like EMI are laying off a third of their companies. The music industry made the decision that they were going to hold on to the 20th century with both hands and not let go.
There's a chart I found, I'll put the link in the show notes, that shows over the last 5 years the growth and changes of the gaming, movie, and music industries.
See, but I still love how all this stuff is laid out right there. But media and that still basically knocks video games for being childish, that kind of thing.
So back to the real story here of PC gaming. Of the approximate $19 billion in the video game industry, about $0.9 billion was PC games.
900 million, okay.
90% of that was World of Warcraft.
No, hang on. Well, hang on. Here's the thing. First off, that's down from 970 million in 2006. But those numbers don't track things like Steam or subscriptions. Those are only what people bought in the stores.
Well, that's retarded. Who the hell buys a game from a store? We see all the love PC games get at Best Buy and every other store with your, rack over to the side with the dinged up boxes and everything else.
Here's your shelf of game.
Get your Warcraft here. That's the only one that sells.
And right next to Warcraft, they still have that Diablo battle chest.
Right. That will never go away.
And it's still the same amount as it did when it first came out.
It's still $30.
Yeah.
Now you laugh. Just yesterday, I bought the StarCraft battle chest. There's suckers like me who
Thank you for keeping that on the shelf, retard.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to go through their inventory and be like, see, it's selling. It's selling. We must order more.
But overall, in sales numbers, what do you think the number one PC title was for 2007 that was bought in stores?
I'm going to go with... Burning Crusade, I'll go with.
Yeah, Burning Crusade at 2.3 million copies. And actually, that was the fastest selling PC game in stores.
You know what? I'm surprised not to see Orange Box up here anywhere in the top 10.
Well, no, because people that are going to be playing that are pretty much going to be getting that through Steam.
Oh, through Steam, yeah, good point.
World of Warcraft hits the bigger audience.
But of all the sales here, I think you can see the big trend if you're looking at the list. Lots of Sims 2. I'm not just saying the Sims 2 game. 5 of the spots are Sims games of the top 10.
People like alternate lives, I guess. I don't know.
I have a feeling that people are buying these for their kids. I know a buddy of mine has a couple kids who are like 5th and 4th grade, and they don't want an Xbox or the PlayStation in the house. They have a computer, and they want their kids to be proficient at the computer, and so they feel comfortable having their kids play a Sims game, but they don't feel comfortable having them play Call of Duty.
Space 4000.
Exactly.
Sex Station 7.
That's what it's called. Sex Station, Space. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like Space 4000.
Hey, man, it's like, you know what it is. There's no illusion about this game.
Next topic.
We didn't talk about this. This was announced, I think, at the CES show a few weeks ago. In Soul Calibur 4 is coming out for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. We remember that in Soul Calibur 3, there were extra characters for each different platform.
Spawn and Link and
Hayoshi from Tekken.
Yeah, that old guy. He's still around. We'll call him Tim.
Okay. And in Soul Calibur 4, they're going to have Star Wars characters this time around. You're going to get Darth Vader and Yoda with lightsabers.
How is that even fair? Darth Vader would just force choke the guy, and that would be it. And what weapon would be able to even block a lightsaber? What are you going to do? Stick up your arm and block a lightsaber?
I saw the video for this. It's a sword. They just fight like they're swords.
One other thing we never talked about was there's going to be a Bob character in Tekken.
Like
There
actual
was always a
Bob?
Bob character in Tekken.
No, like Bob? He just sits there and gets bitter.
Not at all. Go look at the picture.
Yeah, I was going to send the picture here. Apparently, when he started out as a very tone fighter. He found he wasn't winning, and he went and re-engineered himself to be a very large man.
Remember, strong in Japan equals sumo.
I was about to say, they don't have necessarily like big, strong guys because their giant of a man is like 5'10".
Yeah, what the hell game was that? Was that
That was Dynasty Warriors.
That was Dynasty
giant
Warriors.
of a man.
He was 5'10", 202 pounds. He was massive, just huge.
Like, dude, I was that in like 6th grade.
I think the real story is who still gets excited for 3D fighters.
I like Soul Calibur, actually. I skipped Soul Calibur 3, so I'm probably going to get Soul Calibur 4.
I don't have the time to train. The same thing with the PC FPSs. I don't have time to get good at them.
And not only that, I've gotten to the point now where I hate games like that because the game starts with 2 freaking guys. You have to go unlock everybody. So in addition to having to learn people, you can't even take the time to learn the guy you like because you haven't unlocked them. And I understand that they do that to try to add longevity to the game, but it doesn't make it any better.
Makes it more annoying.
You know what I wish they would do is finally make a fighting game that has a make-your-own guy rather than having to play like one of these characters that they make. What I mean by that is somehow as you level up, just go buy moves to make the kind of guy you like to play. Like, all right, well, here's a very slow maneuver, but it's got a really easy button combination, or here's a really fast combo that's really complicated but does a bunch of damage.
That's something I wish they would just bring back for everything. Make your own guy. Like role-playing games. Nope, you don't get to make your own guy. You are...
Here's your sweet gray hair and your very skinny build.
And you don't get to make your party. No, you wander through the woods until you meet Willem the Platypus. Hi, I'll be your fighter for the day. I heard if we head east, we can meet, Stabby McStabkins.
And then we'll get our thief, Joey the Rat Face. Actually, I don't know. Stabby McStabkin, Willem the Platypus, and Joey Ratface is probably the party I would make anyway.
But you never get to make your own guys. It's always, Hi, I'm John. I'm your fighter for the evening, and I'll be leaving you at cutscene 27.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I liked Oblivion. I prefer single-player role-playing games as opposed to the kind where you have to manage 5 guys.
I hate managing parties. That's such a pain in the ass.
That's why I liked Oblivion, because you didn't have to worry about multiple guys, and you actually could pick whatever you wanted for that.
I was just going to say, party management in was the game I played, Final Fantasy X. That was a bear, because the guys only gained experience when they were in the battle, and you had a group of like 6 or 7 guys, only 3 of which could fight at any one time. So you had to keep switching back and forth to get them all leveled. Because in the Final Fantasy games, sometimes some party members would leave at cutscene 55.
Exactly.
And take all their sweet-ass gear with them, you mother...
Yeah, so I had to constantly make sure everyone was leveled appropriately so I didn't get screwed at the end game.
That's why you have to read the game facts so you know who to take the equipment out of right before you go into the cutscene.
Yeah, that doesn't take you out of the role-playing experience at all, either.
That's why I like the Baldur's Gates, Icewind Dales and those, because you just make your little party and you run around and do what you want to do, and it's nice.
By the way, I like the meme of this show. Like, everything that CGI was role-playing games are
Everything's garbage. This new character for Tekken, piece of why is he all fat? That's microtransactions for a shooter, that. We've been getting them for free. Everything's garbage. All we do is complain. Where?
We really do sound like a bunch of bitches. Why do people listen to us?
I have no idea.
So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to bitch about how there's nothing to bitch about this week.
And then go play all the games that we just complained about.
This week was a very good week. There's nothing to complain about.
Oh, we'll find something.
Next topic.
I did have a story here about the Chinese gaming market, but we can skip it.
No, this is actually an interesting story because they were trying to lock out non-Chinese MMOs from their market.
I would love that. In fact, forbid them from playing our
That
MMO.
would be great.
The story was Chinese government right now has enacted a new policy. So when a foreign company comes to China and wants to sell their MMO, they right now have to get approved by the General Administration of Press and Publication.
Damn communists.
Yeah.
Well, this is the euphemism for the guy who you have to bribe.
And it's one guy?
I don't know what it is.
It's one guy.
If I was that guy, I would dress up in ridiculous outfits and make people meet me. They walk in and I'm in a kangaroo outfit. Go ahead.
And then he sends you on a quest. He's like, you must get me red teapot.
If you cannot find the red teapot by dawn, your game will be denied.
Your quest begins now. And he like flips over an hourglass.
That he pulled out of his kangaroo pouch.
Exactly.
It's nothing so fanciful as a quest.
But there is a kangaroo of it.
I tell you what, here's a table. You start piling money up on top of it. When you reach the proper amount, I will approve your game.
Like a little clown guy with his hand up. Your pile must be this high to be approved.
Now, actually, the way it is right now is even before this group can even start looking at a game, the company that brings the game in cannot be targeted for arbitration or be any litigation from a Chinese company. So no company has to be suing this foreign company. So for all intents and purposes, they could shut down games now as they're coming in by having companies just sue a foreign game.
For
And
nothing.
seeing that all the companies are also partly owned by the government, all this guy has to do is decide to sue somebody. Wasn't one of the rules, though, that any new MMO that wants to enter into China has to be partly owned by a Chinese company? They didn't want to have another WoW that was completely owned by a foreign company.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that Blizzard partnered with the Nine when they brought World of Warcraft into China. They did all the localization and maintain all the local servers in the area.
Well, they might have had to have partnered with a Chinese company. So a lot of times, an American company who wants to come in and do business in China, they'll force you to partner with a Chinese company. And then maybe they made Blizzard do that.
It's a subsidiary called Blizzard.
Next topic.
We have 2 pieces of voicemail.
Hey, this is Insubordination. Love y'all's show. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Insubordination. And the other one here,
Hey guys, just wanted to say that I love the show. It's really good. My question is, the other day I went to the store and I picked up Titan Quest and I started playing it, and it's a really good game. I love it. But the thing is, about the single player, it starts to get kind of monotonous all by yourself. I was wondering if there's an online community somewhere I could join that with people that play it, because I looked at the servers that are hosted and they're all like German people and stuff. Really appreciate it. Keep making the show. Thanks a lot.
There's a joke there. I just can't think of it.
I know.
You want to join our party, huh? Well, you'll see about that.
I don't know of any online Titan Quest communities. I mean, when we played, we all played together. We never played with other people.
Well, now that I know that they were Germans and we could have annoyed them with our boisterous American ways.
But honestly, you don't really want to play Titan Quest with people you don't know because of all the hacking and stuff you can do. It really isn't a very online-friendly game.
Did you ever go and look at the servers and the games in Titan Quest? And everyone has like full sets of the best stuff.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous how
It's just
everybody's
like,
like shiny and glowing with like thorns and crap all over them. And I got like a bronze shield and some short sword I found.
I've got a pointed stick and a loincloth. And this guy's over here just, with his god helm.
You know, maybe that's what we should set up. We should set up microtransactions for Titan Quest. We can make this a business because the people who don't know that hack exists.
I'm sure we can make at least $30 before somebody found that
Like
out.
30 Deutschmarks.
They still use Deutschmarks?
No, that's how they would try to screw us because we're Americans and we wouldn't know.
We're too dumb to know. I will give you 1 million Deutschmarks. Wow.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
Ross from New Zealand. Hi guys, you just don't know how lucky you are. I laughed at the uproar about the Time Warner changing their plans to 1 gigabyte, 5 gigabyte limits, etc. I come from little old New Zealand where everything is done that way. I personally have a 1 gigabyte per month plan that I pay $40 New Zealand for.
My God, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but you know what? The Australians are always complaining about their internet. Like, I guess New Zealand and Australia have it really bad.
Then, in other words, they have every right to complain, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes on to say here, so you guys can feel duly smug that you have unlimited fast broadband, lucky bastards.
Hey, you don't tell me what I can feel smug about, mister.
Although, Tom, he liked your rant.
Which one?
Well, that doesn't really narrow it down.
Next topic.
This is from Luke in England. Hey guys, what are your opinions on the lack of punishment for death in a lot of games recently? BioShock being the most recent, whereby you simply respawn. Do you think that difficulty should be increased again, or that death should be more of a big deal, or are you happy with the shift towards easier gaming?
I've kind of had an issue with this for a while. A lot of games do that. I mean, hell, even Hellgate pretty much does that. You die and like, all right, well, here you're dead. Now you're over here. You get slightly less experience for a couple minutes. I agree. I'm not sure how I would solve this, but I do think that it should be more of a penalty in games. Either that or more of a penalty and less likely to occur. That's one of the things why I don't like deathmatch so much. Because it's like, I only died 25 times this game, but then I killed 50 people, so I win. That's, again, I think why we like more realistic shooters is you die and that's it. You're done till the end of the match.
Well, that's why I think like team-based FPSs have become much more popular because when you die, that's it. You're done for the whole round. Plus it builds a sense of teamwork.
I don't know if they did it in Vegas, but I know they did it in the other Raven Shield games we played. If one of your party dies, that's a failure for the mission.
Yeah.
Because, everybody has to go home. That might be a little bit too far because you're just playing with God knows who. They might not watch your back.
That's the problem we always had, too, when we played Raven Shield. When somebody else would join our group, they were always the douchebag of the group that went running ahead and
sprint ahead, piss everybody off, no element of surprise anymore, but they got their 8 kills before they died.
Did he throw the flashbang right at the start of the round?
Throw the grenade, everybody hears it, everybody's yelling alarm and everything else.
No, wait, isn't there an MMO that does the whole, okay, once your character's dead, that's it, your character's over?
Yeah, hardcore modes. Diablo 2 had it.
Yeah, Hellgate has a hardcore mode where if you die, that's it, you're dead.
You know what? And that's not even true, because once you die, you can still play the character on the open server.
Yeah, but you won't have your name in the cool yellow color anymore. Then everybody will know.
People will know that you're not hardcore. Yeah, I like that.
You're softcore, man.
I've seen level 35 guys that are in hardcore, so apparently it's doable. Apparently all you have to do is grind on mobs that are 10 levels lower than you.
and bring lots of health potions with you.
Right.
I always hated that, because you know what? You would not just feasibly be able to drink that much.
I agree. That's a lot of fluid to get into your stomach.
I mean, you'd be running around and all you'd be hearing is sloosh, 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 sloosh. You'd have to pee all the time.
Sloshing around while you're trying to dodge enemies, that's just not going to happen.
If someone hit you, the bottle would break. I mean, if you fell down, you would be cut and wet.
And imagine what color your urine would be drinking red and blue potions all day. Gatorade makes a fierce line of drinks, which I think they just put more sugar in, and they make a fierce grape. And I used to drink that until the next day when I wondered why things were bright green.
How bad is the penalty for death in World of Warcraft?
Depends. If you actually go to your corpse, it's a 10% reduction in the durability of your equipment.
It's not that big of a deal if you only die once or so. But if you die a bunch of times, it doesn't matter if you run back to your corpse or not. All your stuff's going to be broken. It gets really pricey to fix.
I think that's how you can judge the effectiveness of the death penalty in the game. If you die and go, oh crap, I died, or oops, like that's probably not hard enough. If you die and you're like, mother, slam down your mouse and like run out of the room and go punch a wall, and that's probably more of a reasonable death penalty for the game.
See, I'd rather like the in-between. I don't want to go, tee-hee, I've perished. I also don't want it to be sacrifice my firstborn because my character died. I want a happy in-between. I like the Vitae penalty. The Vitae penalty was basically, it reduces all your everything.
You're just 25% less of a character.
You had to earn so much experience points to work off the Vitae penalty.
But the problem is you're like 25% weaker, so you have to like go kill lesser mobs or rely on your group to get experience for you.
I was going to say, speaking of this death penalty stuff, have you guys heard of Quarry, the first-person shooter? To play the game, you have to put like $10 down before you play the game. And then once you enter the game, every time you kill someone, you get a few cents. But every time you die, it takes a few cents from you.
Oh, see, that would suck.
Oh, God.
That would be awesome, though. But see, death has a real penalty now.
Yes, it does. I still fail to see how that's good.
Next topic.
We did have one other piece of mail. This is from Nillabear on the forums. Hey guys, love the show. I'd like your opinion on something. I've had a 360 for about a year now and have always been interested in live. However, it would be difficult for me to connect the Ethernet cable to my parents' router. Recently, my parents just bought a new MacBook Pro laptop. They also got a wireless Airport Extreme router for our home. My first question is the Airport Extreme compatible with the Xbox? If it is, to connect to live would cost me about $100 for the wireless network adapter, $30 or $60 for the gold subscription, and money from Microsoft points too. This is all coming out of my pocket and I'm 14. This would leave me practically broke. In your experiences with live, would you say the money's worth it, and or how could I do this more cheaply?
Now, as for the router being compatible, I'm not sure.
I looked it up before. It isn't compatible, actually. It has to do with a security issue. If you have the router set for a certain security setting, you can't connect to it.
How much distance is there between his parents' router and the 360 in terms of just running an Ethernet cable?
Well, when I was at his house last week, I don't know. How the hell should I know? No, he didn't say how much distance there was.
It might not be
You could
distance.
buy like 100 feet of cable.
It might not be distance. It might be something like the only way to do it would be to run it across 3 different doorways or something like that.
Hey, we've all done it, man. I've drilled the holes in the baseboard.
Well, hang on now. There is one solution. This is a system that will turn your electrical system basically into the Ethernet cabling. So you can plug this thing into your power plugs in your house, and then you can plug an Ethernet cable into this thing, and it basically turns your house's power lines into Ethernet cable.
Does that actually work?
I don't know. I had never used it.
That sounds kind of cool, actually. So anywhere you have an electrical outlet, you essentially have an Ethernet jack?
I can't imagine that would have the same speed as an Ethernet cable. It doesn't have the insulation. There's going to be all sorts of problems.
He could bridge routers. He could get another Linksys and have the Linksys bridge to the airport.
Yeah, he would have to buy it, which is another $50 out of his pocket.
Okay, kid, spend $25. Get some really long Ethernet cable just to see if you like live. Get a silver account, which isn't going to cost you anything. Plug in the Xbox to the airport with your really long cable. Yes, it's going to run through your parents' house, but you're just trying it out. See if you like it first. Then email us back.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 74 for Sunday, January 27th, 2008. Any ham sandwiches or shattered dream pies? First off, let me give one out. Nilla Bear, I have to give him a ham sandwich because for last week's Factor crap about the motion sickness, he was the one that actually pointed that out to me. So, ham sandwich to Nilla Bear.
You know what? I can't decide if I want to give a shattered dream pie to the kangaroo-suited quest-giving Chinese guy or not.
Ivan, are you playing Oblivion again?
Oh, God. I've got... Yeah, so last night I played Oblivion, and I got like 5 messages saying, way to be, man. Way to not let the man get you down. You show him, man. Yeah, you start playing again. Yeah, good for you. So, yes. Why?
They posted on the forums that you were playing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Ham sandwiched all our forum guys for the encouragement to be playing Oblivion again. You know, I feel like I got in a car wreck or something and somebody saw me driving. You know, it's like, good for you. Way to not, freak out because you got in a car accident.
And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org. Skype us at videogameshow or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Not me. Not it.
What? Uh-oh.
Somebody
Ivan?
dropped.
No.
What?
Nobody?
Keith.
No,
Keith.
Oh.
We heard the hang-up noise. Apparently
Somewhere in
he did it.
Skype HQ, they're all laughing. Like, send them the hang-up sound again.
That's funny.